Hey Beauty, this is part 2 of a 2-part episode. In the episode prior to this one, I had a guest, Christy Guth. She had some statistics to share about the products that a lot of us have in our homes. If you have not listened to that episode, she gives some great information for all of you. In this episode, I wanted to talk about my experiences with different products, some things to look out for, some practical tips just for you. Before I go into that, I just feel like I'm not good at celebrating the wins in any area of my life. So I just wanted to celebrate a few wins with you today. Her Holistic Healing is a top 3% podcast in the entire world. It's been ranked number 15 in Kenya, number 19 in New Zealand, and number 139 in the USA in the alternative health category. It has almost 60,000 downloads with 27 episodes, and that's all thanks to you guys who are listening to the show. I really wish I could meet some of you and get to know some of you. In order to celebrate all of these things, I wanted to offer free 60-minute holistic health coaching sessions to 5 of you. So if you're interested, email me at hello@herholistichealing.com. If you want to find out more about coaching, you can go to herholistichealing.com/coaching. But as I said, I am giving away 5 free coaching sessions. So if you're interested, I really hope that you will email me. I take, of course, a holistic approach to health, meaning I like to look at health from every perspective possible. Your social health, what's going on in your home, any trauma that you've gone through, food, exercise, whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about to improve your health. So once again, if you're interested in a free 60-minute coaching session with me, I'm only offering 5 spots. Go to hello@herholistichealing.com and I will set that up for you. All that being said, let's get into the show. Welcome to Her Holistic Healing. Do you want more energy and less anxiety so that you can do all the things? Are you searching for meal ideas, essential oils, and other holistic treatments? Do you wish you could know which direction to take with your health so that you could finally feel better? Hey, I'm Alexandra. I love Jesus. I'm a wife, mom of 3, and registered nurse with years of experience in clinical research. I also wanted more energy so that I could have more fun and keep up with my growing child. I too was confused about all the different diet and treatment options. I too wanted to wake up every day and feel good, but I felt anxious because I couldn't solve the mystery of my health. Until God showed me that He is the source of true healing. In this podcast, you will learn holistic treatments and Bible truths that will lead you to the peace, joy, and freedom that you have been hoping for. So what do you say we take a break from the mind-numbing humdrum busyness? Let's rest and let God be our healer and helper. I've always been, ever since I was a kid, I was not super sensitive, but I was pretty sensitive to smells. I was sensitive to perfumes and colognes, and I don't know if Bath and Body Works is still a huge thing, but when I was in junior high, all the girls would go to Bath and Body Works and they would get all these lotions that, they smelled good, but then I ended up having a headache after smelling all those smells throughout the day. In 2010 or something like that, I read a book that introduced me to the toxins in our food and in our homes, personal care products and cleaning products. So because I was pregnant at the time, I started to switch out all the toxic products for non-toxic ones. But actually, let me back up. Before that, this was in 2010 or something like that, I was pregnant, and my husband, he used to put this cleaner in our toilet, so it would stick inside the toilet, and then when you flush the toilet, the chemicals would come out when I was pregnant, I just had this horrible nausea. When I went into the bathroom and I smelled that cleaner, I swear it smelled, I always say it smelled like death to me. It was horrible. And I had such horrible morning sickness that I couldn't keep anything down. And a lot of foods smelled really bad to me, but this smelled the worst. I basically, if I could, I would have run out of the bathroom, but as soon as my husband got home, I said, you can never put that in our bathroom again because it smelled so bad to me. So he got rid of it. And then I think months later, that's when I read the book that I read. And then I started switching out our products and started eating differently and all those things. And now when I go to Walmart or Target and I walk through the cleaning aisle, the smell just bothers me so much. I was talking to Christy about this after the last episode. I wish we had recorded it. We were talking about how we kind of get desensitized to certain things. So after I got rid of all the toxic products, I think I could really tell when I was around the toxic products, like in Walmart or in Target. I think I got to a point in this is just like a year or two ago, where I kind of got tired of being so careful about the products that I used. We even were super careful about the furniture that we bought because of the chemicals that are used in furniture and all that. I might go more into that later. I'm not saying that I got lazy, but I just thought to myself, there aren't so many people that care as much about this as I do. So I just decided not to be as vigilant as I was in the past. But the reason why I decided to have these 2 episodes is because of what happened the past few months. In 2021, we moved to Florida. We love Florida. I grew up in Chicago. I lived in Chicago most of my life, where it's cold. The thing that I dislike most about Florida is the cockroaches. It wasn't a huge infestation, but we had some cockroaches. And my husband was just so shocked that I even hired an exterminator. He's like, you're going to have someone spray chemicals in our house? There are some really good natural repellents for roaches, like boric acid, essential oils. I tried those, but I don't know where to put them. I'm not a roach expert. And now, unfortunately, I know a lot more about roaches than I ever wished that I did. So anyway, we hired an exterminator. The first few times that they came, it was fine. It was great. Unfortunately, roaches will come inside when it rains, even if you don't leave food out. Roaches will come in anyway. So when the exterminator came another time, it was a different guy, and he sprayed this spray in the house, and it was fine for a little bit. But then a few hours later, I had trouble breathing for about 3 or 4 days. And when you have trouble breathing, that's not a good sign, right? So when we had the exterminator come over again, I told them what happened, because they had advertised that their products are eco-friendly and non-toxic and whatever. So they had someone else come over, and he used different things, like different traps, and he did use a different spray, which I didn't have a problem with. I didn't have a problem with breathing afterwards. So it just made me think about toxic products and how they can have a very profound effect on our health. And then around the same time, my husband had just ordered some workout equipment. He put it in our front room, where I have my computer, where I'm sitting most of the day. At the time, I didn't know why, but I started getting headaches. And I hardly ever get headaches. I get a headache maybe once or twice a year, and that's it. So when I started getting headaches, I knew that something was off. After a few days, I knew what it was. I was smelling the rubber or the plastics and the chemicals that were on the workout equipment. I could smell all that, but I didn't really think that that was the cause of my symptoms. But once I realized it, I just opened the window for a few hours, and I felt better. The headache The headache lasted, I think, maybe for a few days, and then after I had the window open for a few hours, I felt better, and then I did that for the next 3 days. So that's tip number 1 for you. I'm going to get into more tips later. But I just want to bring all of this up to you because I feel like some of you don't believe that these things can affect our health. Before I go any further, I don't want anyone to become super legalistic or worried about any of this. God gave us our senses for a reason. He gave us a sense of smell for a reason, for us to smell wonderful things and to alert us when we're smelling things that are not good for us. And He's given us these symptoms to show us when something is off, right? So you might not be the type of person that has to be super vigilant about these things, but maybe you are. So even small changes can help when it comes to things like this. And I wanted to bring this up earlier in the year because I feel like things like this, I feel like it's easier to do these types of things than to change your diet. I know that we become very attached to certain foods, so it's harder for us to bring in new foods or to get rid of foods. But this, I feel like, is simpler. I don't think any of us are, well, I hope not, like super attached to certain cleaning products or personal care products. You can start swapping out your products one by one so that you can improve your health. If you haven't listened to Christy's episode, go back to the last episode and listen to it. I just wanted to make you aware of these carcinogens and these endocrine disruptors, these hormone disruptors that can be in our household products. They can be on our household products, on our personal care products, our cosmetics, pesticides in foods, flame retardants, plastics, rubbers, industrial additives, solvents, food additives, metals. They're used in medical research. There's antimicrobials that we should be careful of. I'm not bringing all of this up to scare you. I just want you guys to be aware that if you're having health problems, I want you to take a look at some of these things too. If you've listened to the episode prior, Christy was talking about what happened to her when her husband and her switched out their products. Her headaches went away, and her husband didn't have to blow his nose all the time. Just their allergies got better. Some of these things are just very harmful for us. They can cause cancer and other things. So I just want you to be aware and just start to swap out some of your products. So here are just 5 tips for you. Number 1, like I said, make it a habit to open your window. I don't know, maybe if it's cold outside or you don't want to, maybe only do it for 15 minutes a day. Or you could even leave it open a crack at all times. I was listening to this podcast where she was talking about her grandparents used to always leave the window open a crack just so you can have air circulating. So that's tip number 1. Number 2, you can diffuse essential oils to help clean the air, like lemon or melaleuca. Those are some great oils, or just any citrus oils. Those will help. If you're interested in oils, go to my.doterra.com/herholistichealing to get some wonderful pure oils. Tip number 3, find brands that you trust. So do your research. Don't just go for companies that say, we're green, we're eco-friendly, we're natural. I think it really helps for you to look at the history of the company, look at their beliefs, try to get referrals from other people. I love doTERRA. I've also used Honest Company. Christy uses Norwex. I haven't used their products other than their cloths. Their cloths are really amazing. I usually hate cleaning, but the cloths make it a lot easier. As far as cleaning goes, I like to use this this blend that doTERRA made. It's called Abode. I also use this cleaning spray recipe that Dr. Joshua Axe had on his website. It is half a cup of vinegar, 1 cup of water, 15 drops of melaleuca, and 15 drops of lemon. I also add 15 drops of spearmint or peppermint just because we love the smell of mint in our house. So I use these cleaning sprays on just about anything. They're wonderful. I use doTERRA shampoo for makeup. I use Honest Beauty, which is made by the Honest Company. I've heard great things about Beauty Counter. So those are just some ideas for you. Tip number 4, when you're looking at the label, it could have all these great ingredients and non-toxic ingredients, but if it says fragrance, I think you want to stay away from that because the word fragrance is very iffy. They can use synthetic fragrances, which are really bad for your endocrine system. So stay away from fragrance. Stay away from, try to, if you feel like you want to, stay away from perfumes and colognes. You can swap out your perfumes for essential oils. Jasmine oil smells really great. It's a floral smell. Neroli is also, I believe, a flower, but it's not as strong as oils like lavender or ylang ylang. Neroli is actually used in, I think, the most expensive perfumes. So why not just wear neroli? You could also wear lavender if you like it. Personally, I can't take too much lavender, but if you like lavender, you could do lavender. You could do ylang ylang, but it might make you a little sleepy. Lavender might make you a little sleepy too, or just it might calm you. So those are some ideas for fragrances. Number 5, just be mindful of if you're gonna buy new furniture, you could go for organic furniture, which I will warn you is you'll probably get sticker shock if you've never bought that before. So if that's not in your budget, go for used furniture. Used furniture is cheaper, obviously, and also you won't get if harmful glues or chemicals were used on the furniture, it will already have off-gassed. I don't know if that's the proper terminology, but once it's been aired out, you won't be smelling all those chemicals, and it won't be as bad for your health. If you don't want to if you just want to stick with the furniture that you usually get, if at all possible, try to get an organic mattress or, a natural mattress. So those are some 5 tips for you for a healthy home. Number 1, open a window as much as possible. Number 2, diffuse essential oils like melaleuca, lemon, any kind of citrus oils. Number 3, find brands that you trust. Don't just go for companies that say, we're eco-friendly, we're green, we're natural. Look into them because they might just be saying that, unfortunately. Number 4, try to stay away from all synthetic fragrances. Even if a product is, quote, natural, the fragrance is not good for you, the synthetic fragrance. Also, I forgot to say this, also look into the company if they're using essential oils. Try to find out where they source their oils, because a lot of essential oils on the market are adulterated or they've been diluted. So you want to, once again, find companies that you trust that source high quality ingredients. Number 5, buy used furniture that's been aired out, so to speak, so that whatever chemicals that are lurking in your furniture will not affect your health as much. Once again, as I always say, guys, just pray about this. Ask God what He thinks you should do. Don't go overboard. Don't worry about it. Remember that God will give you the wisdom. All you have to do is ask. I hope that you found this episode helpful, and I will talk to you guys soon. I'm so glad that you took the time to listen today. If you like what you heard, will you leave me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts so that this show can reach more people? And if you want to connect with me, go to herholistichealing.com. Before you go, I want to leave you with one of my favorite passages from Matthew 29. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls.
For you. It's easy and my burden is light.